Welcome back to Healing with Krista. Today we are on episode 7, and the topic is Everything Happens for a Reason and why I believe that. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. And if you've been following my journey, welcome back. So, I spent a lot of time talking about trauma, healing, grief, and learning how to let go. And those conversations are important because they remind us that we're not alone. But today I wanted to talk about something that completely changed the way I look at life. I truly believe everything happens for a reason, but that doesn't mean everything happens is good. It doesn't mean trauma was meant to happen. It doesn't mean loss doesn't hurt. It simply means that even in our darkest moments, there are lessons waiting for us if we're willing to learn from them. Life has a funny way of teaching us exactly what we need, even when we don't understand it at the time. Looking back at my own life, there were so many moments that felt unfair. There were moments I questioned everything. I wondered why I had to experience the certain things while other people seemed to have it so much easier than me. But years later, I realized those experiences weren't just painful memories, they became tools. It taught me compassion, boundaries, but most important, it taught me resilience. They taught me how to recognize people who genuinely care about me and those who don't. They taught me to trust myself. And we all go through seasons. Life comes in many seasons. Some are beautiful, some are lonely. Some seasons feel like you're barely surviving and you have to be in survival mode. And then there are seasons where everything begins to make sense. The hard part is that while you're in the middle of the storm, you usually can't see what it's trying to teach you because the only thing you're trying to focus on is making it through the day. But eventually you look back and realize that season changed everything. Maybe losing a relationship or friendship forced you to love yourself. Maybe losing that job pushed you toward the career you were actually meant to have. Maybe being rejected protected you from something you couldn't see. Maybe that friendship ending created room for healthier relationships. Sometimes God, sometimes life, sometimes the universe, or whatever you believe in, has to remove people, places, and situations because they've already served their purpose. Not everything is meant to stay forever. Some people are just chapters, and they're not the whole story. Pain can become your greatest teacher. And one thing I've learned is this: pain is a terrible place to live, but it's an incredible place to learn. Every disappointment has taught me something. Every heartbreak taught me what love shouldn't feel like. Every betrayal taught me who deserved access to my life. Every loss reminded me to not take people for granted. Every mistake taught me humility. None of those lessons felt good while I was learning them. But today, I'm thankful for the wisdom they each gave me. Sometimes people ask, would you change your past if you could? Honestly, as painful as some memories are, I don't know if I would, because if I change my past, I might lose the woman I've become today. Trust your intuition. And I just want to take a moment just to talk about intuition because I think every single one of us has experienced that feeling, that little voice, that gut feeling, that feeling in your spirit that says something isn't right or this feels right. So many times in life, we've ignored it. Maybe because someone convinced us we were overthinking. Maybe because we wanted to believe the best in someone. Maybe because we didn't want to disappoint people. But I've learned something. Your intuition usually whispers long before your reality starts screaming. Pay attention to what gives you peace. Pay attention to what drains your spirit. Pay attention to how people make you feel after you leave their presence. Some people leave you inspired, anxious, and some people leave you questioning yourself. Your spirit notices before your mind catches up. I've ignored my intuition before, and almost every time I eventually found out why it was trying to protect me. Now I choose to listen, not out of fear, but out of self respect for myself. Protecting your peace. As we heal, we start realizing something. Not everyone deserves access to us. To me, that's not bitterness, it's growth. You don't have to attend every argument, you don't have to explain yourself to everyone, you don't have to keep proving your worth. Protecting your peace doesn't mean you've become cold, it means you've become wise. And to me, there is a huge difference. Sometimes walking away is the healthiest thing you can do. Not because you've stopped caring, but because you've started caring about yourself too. Stop asking, why me? One question I used to ask myself was, why me? Why did I have to experience this? Why couldn't life just be easier? Then one day my perspective changed. Instead of asking, why me? I started asking, what is this trying to teach me? And that single question changed everything. Instead of staying stuck in the pain, I became curious about the lesson. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes it's forgiveness. Sometimes it's learning to stand up for yourself. Sometimes it's learning to walk away. Sometimes it's learning that your worth was never determined by how someone treated you. Every experience leaves us with something. The question is, will we carry the wound or will we carry the wisdom? And trust me, growth can be uncomfortable. People love talking about growth, but nobody talks about how uncomfortable it is. Growth means changing. Growth means saying no when you used to always say yes. Growth means disappointing people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. Growth means choosing peace over chaos. Growth means becoming someone your old self wouldn't even recognize today. And to me, that's scary, but it's also beautiful. You don't owe anyone the old version of yourself. You're allowed to evolve, change, because we're all resilient. I wanted to share a message to anyone struggling. If you're listening today and you're in one of those difficult seasons, please don't give up. I've been through every season there is, and you may not understand what life is doing right now. You may not understand why certain doors closed for you. You may not understand why certain people walked away or said negative things out of spite. But one day you'll look back and realize that what felt like an ending is actually a beginning for you, a new chapter. Sometimes the greatest blessings arrive wearing the disguise of disappointment, but you have to remind yourself to keep going and to always believe in yourself and always trust your spirit, even when the road feels uncertain. Before I end today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Life isn't happening to you, it's teaching you. Every scar carries a lesson, every loss carries wisdom, every ending creates room for a new beginning. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, always protect your peace, and try to learn from every season that you go through. And never allow your pain to convince you that your story is over, because your story isn't over. In fact, it may just be getting to the best chapter yet. I want to end it there. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope this episode resonated with you. If you have anything you would like to share, please send me a message, send me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my page, Healing with Krista, and let me know what life lesson changed your perspective the most. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and keep believing that even the hardest seasons can lead to something beautiful. Okay, thank you. Bye.